Los Angeles Dodgers fans, this is the time of year when everything feels magnified. Every swing, every pitch, every decision from the dugout feels like it's carrying the weight of the entire season. And right now, all eyes are locked on one name, Andy Paz. You can't talk about the Dodgers at the moment without bringing him up. The guy is clearly battling at the plate. It's one of those slumps that seems to stretch further every time you think it's about to end. You can see it in his timing, in his confidence, even in the way he steps into the batter's box. The fans feel it, the teammates feel it, and you can tell Dave Roberts feels it too. The big question hanging over everything is, what do you do with Andy right now? Do you keep throwing him out there and hope he breaks through? Or do you finally give someone else a shot? Because here's the thing, everyone knows Andy's got talent. He's shown flashes before, and when he's on, he can really change a game. But lately, those flashes have turned into quick flickers that fade just as fast. Sure, he managed to get a hit the other night, but even that moment turned awkward when he almost got caught off base. It's been that kind of stretch for him, one where nothing comes easy and every small mistake feels like a mountain. You could see the relief on his face after that hit, and honestly, the reaction from the dugout said it all. The entire team jumped up like he just hit a game winner. That's how rough it's been for him. One single hit felt like a reason to celebrate. So, does Roberts keep letting him fight through it? Or does he turn to Alex Call, who's been waiting in the background, ready to contribute? Because Call's not exactly lighting it up, but at least he brings energy, patience, and a spark that might help the lineup breathe a bit. Then there's Kim Jong-Kim, who can't seem to find any consistent playing time at all. You've got all these moving pieces, and it feels like the Dodgers are trying to find the right mix before things start to slip away. It's a balancing act. Do you bet on potential or go with momentum? And then you've got T.O., another guy who started the postseason strong but has cooled off fast. Earlier in the playoffs, he was clutch. He was hitting with confidence, driving in runs, and being that steady presence in the lineup. But lately, he's been chasing pitches way outside the strike zone. You can almost sense the frustration building each time he swings at a ball that was never close. Roberts seems to know it too. He's been pulling T.O. late in games, around the 8th inning, and replacing him with Justin Dean for defense. It's a smart move strategically, but it also feels like a sign that Roberts is losing patience with T.O.'s bat. And the crazy part is, Dean doesn't even get a turn at the plate most of the time. So what do you do there? Do you stick with T.O. longer and pray that he finds that magic again? Or do you take him out earlier and give Dean a real shot to make something happen? This is the kind of situation that can define a postseason run. A few right decisions, and you look like a genius. A few wrong ones, and the whole fan base is calling for answers. It's not just about analytics anymore. It's about feel, it's about momentum, it's about trusting the right guy at the right time. And that's what makes the Dodgers situation so intriguing right now. You can sense the tension, the pressure to get these calls right, especially with the kind of expectations this team always carries. Then there's the wild card in all of this show. Everyone knows what he's capable of. He's the superstar who can flip a game on its head in one inning. And even though he's pitching tomorrow, tonight could be a perfect chance for him to step up and remind everyone why he's that guy. He's got the stage, he's got the power, and the Dodgers need that kind of fire right now. Toronto fans might still be bitter about how things went down, but come on. At some point, you have to move on. Tonight's the kind of night where a show can silence all of that noise. He's not on a mound, so he's got the freedom to just swing loose, take control, and deliver one of those statement games we've seen from him before. A 2-home run night, maybe even 3, wouldn't just light up Dodger Stadium. It would send a message. This is what he was brought here to do. And speaking of the mound, tonight's matchup has all the makings of something special. Tyler Glasnow facing off against Max Scherzer. Two big names, two completely different styles, but both with something to prove. Glasnow has looked sharp lately. His command, his rhythm, everything seems to be clicking again after a few rocky outings. You can tell he's been adjusting his approach, maybe simplifying things, focusing on what he does best, attacking the strike zone early and not letting hitters dictate the count. Because when Glasnow gets ahead, he's a nightmare for hitters. His stuff is electric, and that breaking ball can make even the best hitters look lost. On the other side, Scherzer, man, what can you say about him that hasn't been said already? The guy's a legend, but let's be real, he's not the same pitcher he was 5 or 6 years ago. He can still bring it, but there are moments where you can see the mileage catching up. That doesn't mean he's done, though. If there's one thing Scherzer knows how to do, it's compete. The Dodgers know him well. He used to wear that same uniform, and that makes tonight's matchup even more interesting. There's no mystery with Max. They know his stuff, his patterns, his tells. That familiarity could be a big edge for the Dodgers. He's still got that fire, that I dare you to hit this mentality, but the Dodgers have the tools to take advantage if they stay patient and make him work deep into counts. But for Los Angeles, it all starts with Glasnow. He's the key tonight. If he can come out and throw first pitch strikes, if he can keep that pitch count low and force early contact, the Dodgers will be in great shape. That's been his biggest issue at times, trying to be too perfect. You can see him nibbling at the corners, trying to paint that ideal spot, and before you know it, he's behind in the count. He doesn't need to be perfect tonight. He just needs to be aggressive. Attack the zone, trust your defense, and let your stuff play. Because when Glasnow gets into a rhythm, there aren't many lineups in baseball that can handle him. The ideal scenario? You get 7 strong innings out of him. You don't need a complete game. You don't need a shutout. Just 7 solid innings where he sets the tone and hands it off to the bullpen with a lead. That's the formula. And if he can do that, it could be the kind of performance that shifts the momentum for the Dodgers moving forward. Remember, Yamamoto came in late in the season and surprised everyone because no one had much film on him. Roki Sasaki's the same kind of situation, a guy with electric stuff who hitters aren't used to seeing. That unfamiliarity works to your advantage. Glasnow has a chance to use that same element of surprise tonight, mixing his pitches, keeping hitters guessing, and pushing deep into the game. 7 innings, that's the target. Do that, and you put your team in control. Now, while all of this is unfolding on the field, there's been some chatter off of it too. Dave Roberts found himself in the headlines after some frustrating travel delays in Canada. Apparently, it turned into a long, drawn-out mess that tested everyone's patience. If you've ever been stuck in an airport for hours, you know exactly how that feels. But Roberts brushed it off afterward, saying it was just one of those days. Nothing intentional, no drama, just the kind of travel nightmare that happens when you're playing in multiple countries during a busy stretch. It's the kind of story that might have gone viral, but Roberts kept his cool, even joked about it a little. Honestly, you got to admire that kind of composure, especially with everything else going on around the team. So here we are, the Dodgers trying to find that spark again, searching for the right combination of players and energy to carry them through. Andy Paz needs a breakthrough. T.O. has to stop chasing, and Glasnow has a golden chance to set the tone. It's one of those nights where every pitch feels like it could change the story of the series. And for a team with this much talent, this much expectation, this is exactly the kind of moment you live for. If there's one thing you can say about this Dodgers team, it's that they never lack storylines. Every series brings a new layer of drama, a new challenge, and a new name stepping into the spotlight. But right now, everything seems to circle back to one big question. Who's going to be the player that takes control of this moment? Because talent has never been the issue in Los Angeles. The roster is stacked from top to bottom. What the Dodgers need now is leadership, consistency, and a spark that reignites their rhythm. You can sense the frustration from the fans, too. They've seen this movie before. The slow starts, the stretches where the offense feels stuck in neutral, and then that one breakout game where suddenly everything clicks. That's what everyone's waiting for again, that turning point. The truth is, sometimes it doesn't even take a grand slam or a walk-off. Sometimes it's one big defensive play, one hustle double, one perfectly timed swing that resets the entire team's confidence. Andy Paz's single the other night might have been small in the box score, but emotionally, it felt massive. You could see the weight lift off his shoulders for a moment, and that's the kind of thing that can ripple through a locker room. It's contagious. When a struggling teammate finally connects, it reminds everyone that the game can flip in an instant. But the Dodgers can't just rely on emotional boosts. The tactical side of the game is becoming just as important, and that's where Dave Roberts has to be sharp. Managing a roster with this much depth is both a blessing and a curse. You've got Alex Call itching for more at-bats, Kim waiting for his chance, and Justin Dean ready to bring that late-game speed and defense. Roberts has to decide who fits the rhythm of each matchup, who's seeing the ball well, and who's mentally ready to make an impact. Baseball isn't just about the stats. It's about reading the room, understanding when a guy needs a break or when he needs that extra push. The Dodgers are in that gray area right now where every lineup decision feels like it carries extra weight. Then there's the pitching side, where consistency is the name of the game. Tyler Glasnow's outing tonight will be critical. The Dodgers have leaned heavily on him to be that bridge between the early innings and the bullpen, but it's not just about surviving. It's about setting a tone. When your starter dominates the zone, it changes everything. The defense settles in, the hitters relax, and suddenly the dugout feels alive again. That's what Glasnow can bring. He has the kind of stuff that demands respect. High velocity, late movement, and that ability to make hitters uncomfortable. The challenge for him is mental as much as physical. He has to trust his mechanics, trust the game plan, and stop overthinking those first-pitch scenarios. The team doesn't need him to be perfect. They just need him to be aggressive and fearless. Across from him, you've got Max Scherzer, a name that carries its own mythology. Even if he's not the same version of himself from a few years back, Scherzer's competitiveness never fades. He's the kind of guy who can dig deep on pure willpower alone. That's why the Dodgers can't underestimate him. They know his tendencies, his favorite sequences, his intensity, but the second you relax, he'll make you pay. The key for Los Angeles will be patience. If they can force long at-bats early, make him throw those extra pitches, and drive up the count, they'll start to see cracks by the 5th or 6th inning. That's when the offense needs to strike before Texas can get to their bullpen advantage. But again, it all comes down to execution. The Dodgers have had opportunities in nearly every recent game. Runners in scoring position, men on base with less than 2 outs. And too often those chances have slipped away. That has to change. You can't win October baseball leaving runners stranded. Someone has to come through in those moments. It doesn't have to be the superstar every time. Sometimes it's the unheralded guy, the one who's been quiet all week, who delivers that clutch hit that changes the energy. Every great postseason story has one of those heroes, and the Dodgers are still waiting for theirs to emerge. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. In what is quickly becoming one of the most talked about moves of the offseason, whispers from inside Major League Baseball suggest that Fernando Tatis Jr., the electrifying shortstop who has captivated fans with his combination of power, speed, and charisma, has declined a contract extension from his current team and set his sights on the Los Angeles Dodgers. While no official announcement has been made, sources close to the situation hint that negotiations between Tatis and his current franchise reached a stalemate, with the young star seeking both a new challenge and a chance to compete in a different environment. The Dodgers, long known for their willingness to make blockbuster acquisitions and their knack for surrounding elite talent with championship-caliber depth, are reportedly very interested in adding Tatis to their roster. Imaginations are running wild in baseball circles at the thought of Tatis patrolling shortstop at Dodger Stadium, potentially forming a lineup that could rival some of the most feared in recent memory. Executives, insiders, and even some rival players have begun speculating how this move, if true, might shake up the landscape of the National League. Fans on social media have already exploded with excitement, imagining the highlight reels and postseason fireworks that Tatis in blue could bring. Some analysts argue that while the Dodgers' payroll flexibility is tight, acquiring a talent of Tatis's caliber could be worth every penny, especially with his marketability and star power. Others caution that Tatis's injury history and high-profile lifestyle might present risks, but even skeptics admit the potential upside is enormous. The timing of this rumored decision, right before free agency heats up, has only fueled the chatter, as it signals Tatis might be looking for more than just money. He's aiming for a platform where his talents can shine in the biggest moments. If the Dodgers do make this move official, it wouldn't just be a signing. It would be a statement, sending a clear message to the rest of the league. Los Angeles is ready to contend, and they are willing to bet big on the game's brightest stars. As the baseball world holds its collective breath, insiders suggest we could see a flurry of activity from the Dodgers in the coming days, with other big names possibly joining the narrative. For now, fans are left to speculate, debate, and dream about the day Fernando Tatis Jr. might don the iconic Dodger blue, an image that, for many, is already starting to feel inevitable. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.